Zombie beavers. I know, hear me out.
Anywhere you go, anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Hey you guys, it's Yarnling Cosplay, and I'm back again with another Stitch and Bitch Sunday video. This movie, it's a classic. It is fine art. It is high art. It is beautifully done and made, and it's terrible in the best way possible. And it brought me so much joy to watch. Zombeavers. I know, hear me out. But first, if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for hitting play. I don't know what my thumbnail was, but I got you. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, like this video, follow me on all my social media, sign up for my Patreon, do what's in your heart, do what you feel is right. So the answer is yes, all of it. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. For my current subscribers, 202 of y'all. Oh my god, I was like, okay guys, yeah, this is it, okay? February we're gonna do it. We're gonna hit 200 subscribers, and March we're gonna work on whole new goals. And you guys said, you know what? We got you. We practiced the first time, and the second time we were like, we know what we're doing now. We know what we're doing. We got 200 subscribers. Oh my god, we did it. Alright, so next 300. But thank you guys so much for supporting my channel and watching my videos. And also, real quick, I had oral surgery recently. I had 3 of my wisdom teeth removed. I had one removed forever ago, one cracked badly, very badly, and I had to get it removed immediately. It was causing me so much pain, and it was pushing on the major nerve in my jaw that made my ear feel like an ear infection. It was affecting my sleep. When I say I was taking the obnoxious amount of ibuprofen, it was bad. I don't have insurance. So, I live in the US. I live in America. So y'all already know that whole thing was expensive for no reason other than they can. So I put together a little broke bitch fund. So if you like me, if you like what you see here and you want to help me get out of medical debt, go over there. Go help a girl out and everything. Every donation counts. Literally, I do not care if you're donating $1 or $100. Every donation adds up after a while, and I'm not carrying over this debt to next year. Today, because this is Stitch and Bitch, I'm working on this big ass sweater. The crochet I got to use is huge. The yarn I'm using is pretty thick. I already have most of it done. I was going to show all of it, but then I was just like, nah, if you want to see what I'm working on, if you want to see the full thing, go sign up for my Patreon, okay? Zombeavers. I literally could not. I clicked on it and I was a little bit worried because y'all already saw Coffee and Kareem did me dirty. It was just racism, and I was upset. I was angry. I wanted heads to roll. I couldn't. I was honestly just going to come on here and rant about Castlevania for 3 weeks because that show's my shit. I love it so much. Also, it's not a bad show. It's a great show. So I want to keep it in theme. So I decided to watch Zombeavers. It is available on Amazon Prime Video, and it's so bad that it's good. Zombeavers is a movie about zombie beavers. They're pretty straightforward, but we're gonna jump right into it. Get y'all a little snack, get your little project if you need it and everything. I'm not sure what y'all working on, but tell me what you guys are working on, because some of you guys have said that you usually crochet along with me while you're watching my video. So please tell me, what did you work on while I was complaining about this movie? So Zombeavers is an 1.5 hour long movie. It's not even that, it's an 1:26 long movie. And it opens up with Bill Burr and Robert R. Schaefer as 2 truckers basically driving some chemical waste down an open road. The dialogue isn't really that important. They're vaguely talking about something about the one time Bill Burr decided to suck some and he wasn't opposed to it, but he didn't like the guy, and he's not gay, but he also just wouldn't do it again. So it was weird. Like the whole conversation was vaguely intriguing because I'm low-key waiting for them to say something problematic, and they don't. And the guy driving with him and everything, Robert R. Schaefer, he is just like talking to him, and Billboard gets on his phone while he's driving a truck, and Robert is like, yo, there's a deer up ahead, and Bill's like, I got it, and Robert's like, I trust you, and then he hits the deer. Now, real quick, it is graphic. They don't actually like show like the deer getting hit, but like they show like, you know, the deer remains on the truck afterward. I don't know why they wanted to do all that, but they did. It was a choice. But you know, the whole point is that when they hit the deer and everything, the truck gets jostled, and then the chemical waste falls into the water. And you know where the water is? Where the beaver home is. They were like, listen, this is how you get zombie beavers. Okay, we got some chemical waste in the water. Keep it real simple. They cut to the next scene where basically, like, you know, there's 4 girls that decided they're gonna go up to a cabin because they need to get away from the shenanigans of the city. We have good old Zoe, Mary, and Jen. Zoe is kind of like the reckless one in the group. Mary is the responsible one, and Jen is the reason for the season. Jen is going up to this cabin with the girls because her boyfriend Sam then cheated on her with some hussy, and she's just like, I gotta get away. And Mary's like, I know exactly where we should go. 4 hours away from the city, in the cabin in the woods. They get to the cabin. They're over here like, no phones, no boys. We just gonna have a little girls trip this weekend. It's about us, okay? Pussy power, whatever you want to say. They are constantly checking their phones. Like, they're constantly checking to see if they have reception. They're constantly checking to see if they could just get a text back, if they should reply to the guy who cheated on Jen or whatever. They just, you know, they say no phones, but they mean they want their phones. The neighbor comes over and meets them. The neighbor's interaction was really weird because she literally just comes over and she's just like, hey, I live down the way, and you know, I'm not gonna judge y'all and everything, and y'all some good girls, right? And Mary's like, yes, we have never had sex before, we are the most perfect girls ever. And the neighbor's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I didn't ask that because my daughter is a hoe. And I'm just like, who? You just gonna drag your daughter like this to some strangers? Like, you just, she bold for this one. So even the girls are just kind of like, that neighbor was very vocal about her daughter's life. Let's go to the lake. Zoe and everything decides to go topless because this movie is not a masterpiece without titties. Jen sees a beaver and she's like, oh my god, it's so cute. I've never seen a beaver before. I'm a city girl. Now, one thing about Mary and I think was it Zoe is that they're both from Indiana, and they both say this, so they're both just like, we're not real city girls, we're country girls, okay? We know all about beavers or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all, it's a beaver, calm down. So Jen's just like, I've never seen a beaver before, I want to get closer. And I'm like, girl, now you out in the woods saying I want to touch a beaver. They go and try to find the beaver, and they see the beaver's den. They're like, oh, it's so adorable. Oh my god, let's get closer. So mind you, Zoe's still topless. They're trying to follow this beaver to its den. I don't really know much about beavers, but I know that people are hostile to other people coming onto their territory. I don't know how beavers are, but I don't think they'll appreciate 3 white girls wandering up to their den because they think they're cute. They see this green slime just all over it, and they're just like, this is nasty. And Mary, being the know-it-all, is just like, oh, well, you know, they mark their territory with pee. Why is it green and gooey? Who knows? These could be some, like, you know, real outdoorsy beavers, you know? But I'm not going to question it that much. I'm just going to assume that I am right. They see a bear, and the bear is like, oh my god, what are you doing here? The bear is so, I don't know why they were like, we need a bear out here, but they were like, we do. So this was a choice. So for some reason, Zoe decides to cover up her nipples at this point, where she's just like, ah, bear, how dare you see my titties? It doesn't matter because, like, as I slowly begin to back away, good old Smith runs into them, and he basically fires off a gun and scares the bear away. And his interaction was also kind of weird because he's kind of like slut-shamey-y, but also just like prude-y, but also just kind of like creeper-y. Like, he literally goes to the girls and he's just like, hey, where's your top? Y'all need to cover up more. Y'all can't be out here like this. And I'm just like, girl, outside of Zoe being topless, I mean, I guess you're right, but they're like out in the lake, like they in bikinis. What's so inappropriate about this? But he's scared off the bear and he's just like, hey, you know, if you guys need anything, let me know. And I'm just like, do not tell him if you need anything, because I can't tell if he's trying to protect you, shame you, or like hurt you. Like, I really don't know. So let's just not deal with him. So they eventually head back to the cabin, and now they drunk and everything. It's the girls' weekend. Jen is miserable. Jenna has a picture on her phone and she's just like, I don't know who my guy was macking on, but this is a photo I saw on social media and I can never get over this. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I saw, because like the picture is her boyfriend kissing on the girl and her hair's in her face, but like when I saw the hair, I was like, Mary, you want to speak up before I do? Or they start hearing thumping. And I'm just like, oh snap, the beavers. And the thumping gets louder. They go outside. Zoe is like, oh, it's probably nothing. It's probably just like a wild animal or whatever. So she goes outside because she's the bold, brave one, the reckless one, the topless one. She doesn't have any fear. She's tough. So she goes outside with a flashlight. Mary's like, don't do it. Jenna's like, y'all better get back in this cabin. I'm not gonna go outside and follow y'all, but I'm also not gonna stay here. So, what are we doing, like, as a unit? Eventually, I think they get to the front door and the door slams shut behind them. So they're like, oh shit, we got like, I don't know, something out here. It's definitely not like a beaver or anything. It's definitely like a person. And they were right. It was their boyfriends. Zoe decided to invite all the guys up to the cabin. She didn't tell anyone. Mary's upset because she's like, hey, this is supposed to be a girls' weekend. And obviously Jenna's pissed because Sam, her boo, or ex-boo, is up here. And she's like, she's just so mad at him. And like, she should be. She's rightfully mad. And I don't know why, but like for some reason, the moment the guys like get up there, Zoe and Mary are just like, oh my god, Jen, we care about you, but we're gonna get our backs blown out first. Loudly too. The sex scenes are funny, and like, mind you, they're being loud as hell. And Jen and Sam are downstairs. They're just listening to them, and I'm just like, damn, y'all were like girls trip until some came around, and y'all were just like, ooh, girl, you're gonna be alright. Sam tries to make Jen forgive him. It does not work out. He is very, like, weird. Like, he's just a guy about it. Like, he literally is not taking no for an answer. He pushes her up against the wall, and she's just like, no, you know, I'll let you kiss me and everything, but I'm also gonna, like, you know, hit you in the nuts because I'm still very angry at you. And he's just like, I don't understand why she just won't forgive me. I only cheated. And I'm just like, are you dumb or are you stupid? And eventually goes to the bathroom and she's just trying to take a shower. She's just trying to relax and just forget that both of her friends got their backs blown out no less than 3 minutes ago, and that she's not getting nothing and Sam's not gonna get anything, and she's just miserable. So as she's in the bathroom about to take a shower, she turns on the water and then she opens the shower curtain, and what we have? Zombie beavers! Like, oh my god, they took a minute to get here, but they are here and they are ready. So she is freaking the fuck out. She is like, oh my god, what the hell? What is this? She eventually, I think, like, traps it in something, or I think it like runs into a cabin or something. Like, literally, she just watches scurries around and she's like screaming and she kicks it, and then she gets out the bathroom and she tells the rest of the group, and she's just like, there's a beaver in the bathroom. They think she's making a joke, and they slowly go to the bathroom and like they're nervous, and eventually I think it's like Tommy and Buck are just kind of like, go to the door, like, you know, go open the door, and Sam is just like, oh no, okay, oh no, I ain't trying to die. And eventually I think Tommy's just like, oh, pussies, because, you know, he's a tough guy, he's the big bad guy. So he goes out there and he gets into the bathroom and boop, nothing. And then he's like, see, nothing. And then it was a zombie beaver. So like, he fights a zombie beaver very briefly. I think he like stabs it and kills it, puts it in the bag and sticks the bags outside, and basically is like, see, no big deal. That beaver probably had rabies or something. And everyone's like, yeah, rabies. So the next day, the guys and the girls and everything, everyone wakes up and they decide they're gonna go out to the lake again. And as they're stepping outside, they realize that the bag with the beaver is like gone. But it's weird because, you know, Tommy's like, oh, you know, maybe some wildlife creature got it. It's really weird because like they see like paw prints, like this beaver just walked off, and they're just like, yeah, a bear got it or something. This is definitely not unusual. This is definitely not a zombie beaver walking off from its close encounter with Tommy from last night. No. That's definitely not the case. So they all start to go to the lake, and I think Jen doesn't go into the lake, but the rest of them do. And they're swimming around, they're having a good time. The dog's in the lake too, and I'm just like, anxiety. That dog gonna be okay? Y'all need to let me know if the dog gonna be okay or not, because like, you know, I'm all here for horror movies, but y'all need to let me know if the dog's not gonna be okay or not. So let me know if the dog's gonna be okay or not. But Sam confirms what I suspected, because everyone else is out in the lake, they're having a good time. And I think it was, oh yeah, Sam and Mary are on the little raft that's kind of in the middle of the lake. And he's just like, oh, Jen won't let up. Jen won't let me hit it, won't let me talk to it, won't let me serenade it, nothing. She's just mad. You know, maybe we shouldn't have. And Mary is just like, we shouldn't have what? What we shouldn't have done, because I didn't do anything. Listen, okay? Listen, I saw that hair and I was like, I'm on to you, Mary, okay? You may be able to lie to your husband, but I see you for the liar that you are. Jen is just like glaring at the group. She's the most miserable person in this whole movie. Like when, oh, I'm not even gonna spoil it, but I'll let you guys know in a minute. But yeah, so she's just glaring at the group and everything, and she realizes something's kind of off because Buck starts screaming, and they're just like, what's happening? What's going on? And Buck is like, you know, he's going under. He's just not having a good time anymore. And they all quickly get out of the water onto the raft, and they realize that Buck's foot is gone. His whole ass foot is gone. And then they realize that the foot is in the water, so they take it out of the water and they put it on the raft with them, and they're like, oh my god, why? What happened? And they realize that they are surrounded by beavers. Zombie beavers. And the beavers came for blood. They came for his foot, and they'll come for more. And the beavers are just comically bad. Like, they look like piles of, it looked like, okay, so I'm from Atlanta, right? And if you live anywhere near the city, especially like just downtown Atlanta, you have this thing called tumbleweave. It's literally like, you know, this excess black hair or whatever, like, you know, some long hair rolled up, and you just see kind of rolling down Fifth Avenue or something. It's a regular occurrence. And it literally looks like, the beavers look like they took a shit ton of tumbleweave, put it into the shape of like a cylinder, gave it a cardboard flipper, and put like a motor in that bitch and said, zombie beaver. This is all we could afford. Buck's foot is like gone. I think they spent most of the money on CGI-ing Buck's missing foot, because his foot's like completely gone. It's kind of bloody and gory, but it's not like too bad. But his foot is not visible outside of the fake foot that they have next to them. And they're just like, oh shit, you know, zombie beavers. Jen, for some reason, is like looking at everything, and she's just like, get out of the water. But it's very much like whenever they zoom into, like, you know, I think it was like Jaws, like we'll have someone like zoom into your face real quick, and they're just like, get out of the water, in that slow-mo kind of motion. So it was funny as hell. And I'm just like, Jen, what is you doing? You were just glaring at all of them, and now you're just like, oh no, my friends, I don't want y'all to die yet. The dog is out of the water. The dog is barking at the beavers. And I'm just like, oh shit, like, if y'all gotta go, y'all go. But as long as that dog is fine, I will be okay. And Sam, being the asshole that he is, literally just like picks up the small dog, and he says sorry, and then he yeets the dog into the water, so the beavers follow the dog and not them. And it's Zoe's dog, so she's like traumatized, she's upset, she's angry, she's like, not my puppy. And like, usually like I get really upset whenever animals die in horror movies, but like, this dog was not afraid. This dog was like, this shit ain't real. So like, the dog just kind of paddles off very slowly, and he gets kind of to the shore, and you could tell that this movie is just, they had like no money, because they literally have the dog image kind of fade to zero. Like, they fade to nothing. The beavers kind of, or the tumbleweave kind of like slowly goes around the dog, And then I don't know, someone just like dropped like red food dye in the water for extra effect. It was so bad. I couldn't even. I just laughed. I literally laughed when the dog died because it was funny. It was funny. This dog was paddling like, listen, okay, I'm trying to get my kibble in bits. The people get away. You know, the dog doesn't make it, but the rest of the team gets away, and they get back to the cabin, and they're just like, what the fuck? Like, they're just like, oh my god, what those beavers? That can't be rabies. And I'm like, or could it? So the crew's back at the cabin. Zoe is understandably upset, but she's also really worried about Buck because his whole ass foot's gone. She decides to put his foot on ice because she's like, oh, they can reattach it. And I'm just like, okay, ma'am, I'm not sure what they teach you in Indiana, but like, sure, maybe they can reattach it. I'm not really sure how that works. So they're just like, you know, we can't leave. Those beavers are out there. And as they're out there, the beavers start attacking the cabin and they're freaking out. They're just like, oh my god, we gotta board up everything. But you know, they're in a cabin. They're in a wooden cabin. So y'all can just imagine how that went. Beavers, they were just like, man, watch this. Like they were all tearing up that cabin so badly. And on top of that too, beavers are also nocturnal, which I did not I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't know much about beavers. I'm not trying to know that much about beavers. So yeah, they're like, beavers are nocturnal, so they all start coming out. And I appreciate the director's choice here, because the director is literally like, hey, we don't have a budget. And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? And they're just like, CGI eyes in shadows, and we're just going to imply that there's a shit ton of beaver outside. So we're not going to show a whole bunch of beavers, maybe like 3 or 4 beavers, give or take, but like we can't afford the 500 beavers that we want. So eyes everywhere. Copy paste, clip art, good enough. I think at one point the beavers eventually like calm down and they're just like, okay, we gotta focus. Tom needs to get Buck to the hospital. Zoe's not gonna leave Buck's side, so they're gonna go together, leaving Mary, Sam, and Jen together. So as they're running out, they decide to take, for some reason they have a Prius. I don't know why this is the car of choice for this movie, but they all jump into the Prius and they drive down the road and they basically try to escape and get help. Now, as they're driving and everything, they realize that a tree has fallen down and that there's a truck outside that tree, and they're just like, we must walk it from here. And also, we must check out the truck and see if there's maybe weapons inside. I don't know, however that works. So they check the truck and they see a gun and everything, and they're just like, okay, cool, we can arm ourselves, let's go. As Tommy's walking, he realizes that Buck is definitely not going to go very far with his, whole foot missing. So he's like, hey, I'm going to go get help. Tommy or Zoe and Buck stay in the car. I'll be back. So literally not even 5 seconds, this gets murked by a tree. He gets killed by a tree. And Zoe's just like, oh my god, not the tree. The beavers are literally like, haha, we did it. And I'm just like, this movie is beautiful. This is like 8-Legged Freaks beautiful. This is, if you like 8-Legged Freaks for the garbage that it is, please watch Zombeavers. Zoe goes back to the Prius and she's just like, great, Tommy's dead, I'm distraught, Buck's probably gonna die in the car. And she runs into Smith, the creeper guy from earlier, and he's just like, hey, zombie beavers, they're a thing. I need to get back somewhere else because I can't be out here like this because I don't want to die. So they decide to drive the car back to the neighbor's house because they want to check on them and see if they're doing okay. And also, they don't want to go back to the cabin just yet because they want to see if the phone is working because they don't have any cell reception because they're 4 hours away from the city. For all that, the audience saw that the neighbors were concerned because they were hearing a lot of noise, a lot of yelling. They were just like, we should probably check on the neighbors, those girls and everything, like they just out here in bikinis and stuff. I'm just concerned about their well-being. And they obviously get eaten by beavers. They don't get eaten, but they get bit and killed by beavers. And they also have a dog. And I don't know why the director was just like, none animals live here. But it's kind of funny because like you have this little like golden retriever sitting down next to the husband, and he's petting the dog mindfully. It's whatever. And they cut away from the scene. They cut back to the wife who's just like, we should go check on the girls. And they cut back to the dog, and now he's petting the beaver. So So there's no, like, I really appreciate how they take animals out on this, because they just kind of go, okay, pause. All right, come here. Okay, cool. Put in the fake beaver. Okay, good. Just switch them out, and the audience could figure out from there. So you come back to the cabin, and they're kind of like having like a little heart to heart. They're just like, oh, you know, we're probably not gonna survive this. I don't know what's going on. You know, they're back. I don't know if Tommy made it or not. Like, hopefully they'll be back soon or whatever. But I am just distraught. So they are basically sitting down and just kind of realizing that this might be the end. Because these beavers are crazy and they can't be killed, and you know, they're living in a wooden cabin, so it's just a matter of time at this point. So Sam figures, you know what, I'm not gonna die, because you know, without you knowing the truth. And he tells Mary to basically fess up and tell Jen the truth, and Jen's like, whatever do you mean? And I'm over here like, say it. Say something. Say it right now. I already figured it out within the first 5 minutes. You go and try to keep a whole secret the entire movie? That's not gonna work. So Mary is just like, no, she's going to hate me. She's never going to forgive me. And I'm just like, girl, y'all finna die. So like, so eventually Sam is just like, guess what? Yeah, Mary is the one who I kissed at the party. We were drunk and everything. And Jen is just like, wow, you lying mother. Mary is just like, I'm sorry, okay? I just can't. I don't want you to be mad at me. And I'm like, bitch, if you don't want to be mad at you, then like, why'd you kiss her man? I don't understand. It's real simple. Don't cheat with your friend's boo. Eventually they decide that, you know, they're just gonna like relax, go to bed or something, because it's quiet. They're just going to wait for Tommy and the crew to come back in the morning with help and hopefully survive the beaver attack. What we did not know is Miss Jen here got bit. Yeah. And this is really weird, like low-key implied sexual scene where Jen basically walks into Mary's bedroom, and Mary's just like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, okay? Like, if you wanna make out or something, like, I'm down for it. Like, I just want you to be my friend again, or lover. I can't deal with the pressure of you hating me. So Jen basically like comes to the bedroom and is like sitting, not really sitting, like, I guess like is on top of her, for lack of a better word. And we're just like, ooh, is this gonna be sexy times? And then Jen turns into a zombie beaver! And I realized why this budget was so low, because this director, the whole crew was like, listen, we are saving all of our money to turn people into half beaver, half people zombies. Mary's like, oh my god, you could get turned into a zombie beaver? What? Okay. Now the beavers are attacking the cabin again, and it's just madness. So Sam and everything is like, what's happening? Mary's like, she's a zombie beaver. And I'm just like, everybody gonna die. No one's surviving this. Y'all weren't keeping track of who did it. So wait, what about Buck? Zoe and Smith and Buck are at the neighbor's house now, and they realize that the neighbors are dead. And they're just like, ah, crap. And they all realize that the phone cables, the phone lines are cut. And they're just like, zombie beavers aren't that smart. They can't do that. And I'm just over here like, listen, okay, what these zombievers are intelligent. Eventually, you know, the neighbors turn to zombie beavers and they start fighting for their lives. And now they're also freaking out because they're just like, I didn't know y'all could do that. Oh my god, y'all could turn people into zombie beavers? What the hell? And they fight for their lives. And at this point, Buck finally turns into a zombie beaver. Smith doesn't make it. He gets his face ripped off by Buck. And Zoe was just like, no, not my dog, not my boo too. She just like does that for like 3 minutes, and then eventually she shoots him, but it doesn't work because he's a zombie beaver. The wife died in her bed in the bedroom that Zoe's in, so obviously she goes in there. She's like, oh, this is too much, I can't believe all this. And the wife just opens up her pale white eyes and she's just like, hello. And I don't know why, but like this triggers Zoe's actual fight or flight like trigger. Like she literally tries to shoot her, realizes the gun is empty, and then she decides to yeet herself out the nearest window. Bitch said, I am done. I cannot. I am over it. I don't want to be here. Sam and Mary freaking out. They locked in the bathroom. The place is on fucking fire. A beaver decides to, like, I don't know, shoot an electrical outlet, and that electrical outlet sparks and it sets the beaver on fire, and the beaver decides to, yeah, no. The beaver's on fire. The tumbleweed is on fire. It's running around the house setting shit on fire. I don't know why. Mary's just like, listen, okay, Jen, zombie beaver, she don't matter no more. So you know what we should do? Fuck. Because what I'm not going to do is not get my bag blown out one more time before I die. I'm guessing Jen was just really, really, truly upset because she's a beaver. So she could tunnel, she could burrow, she could pop out from underneath the floorboards. And she does. And Sam literally is like shocked. So like mid-stroke, he like leaves Mary's body, and Jen decides to rip off his. Mary eventually escapes the cabin. I don't know why or how, but she manages to get out of the cabin, runs into Zoe, and Zoe's over here limping and everything. She's like, listen, I'm cut up, we gotta leave here, the Prius is down the way, we could probably make it that far and everything, we gotta go. So as they're leaving, I think they hop into Smith's truck and they try to drive off, and the truck obviously, you know, doesn't go that far because zombie beavers, they knocking down trees everywhere. And I think, I never remember what exactly happens, but I think they crash. Oh yeah, they were going to run into a beaver, so they swerved all the way, and then they crashed the truck into a tree. And as they're slowly recovering, they realize that everybody, the neighbors, Buck, Sam, everybody is coming for them, and they gotta go. And what kills me about this scene is that they literally are just like, oh my god, everyone's a zombie beaver. There's a zombie beaver over here too. There's a zombie beaver bear? Y'all remember the bear from like earlier? So they basically make it out, and then I think Zoe has a gun. I need to see if you got bit or not. And Zoe's just like, I am covered in cuts because I yeeted myself out of a window. I threw myself out of a goddamn window to be here. I did not get bit. You know why? Because I threw myself out of a goddamn window. Mary's a zombie beaver. So Zoe ends up like killing her and is like the only one that survives. She goes out to the road and remember the truck from earlier. And you know, Bill Burr's just, you know, top tier driving skills. They're having another conversation. He's just like, hey, see the girl up ahead? He's like, yeah, I got it. He does not have it. And the movie ends. There is a song. I'm going to link the song down below in the description box. And I beg you, please listen to this song. This movie's a masterpiece. This movie is a classic horror film that everyone should watch at least once. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very happy. I love this movie so much. I am just, look at me. I'm glowing. I'm literally just like, oh, I'm still shining right now. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.